Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So I am in the same place as yesterday's video. That is because I just filmed yesterday's video. So if you missed it, I fell last week and I injured my foot pretty badly, and I ended up having, or I am going to have surgery tomorrow, which is Wednesday. And so I am pre-filming a couple videos so that I don't have to worry about it. I am going to be non-weight bearing for 6 weeks, so my videos are going to be a little bit up in the air over the next 6 weeks. So if I post sporadically, just know that is why. But I figure that a good video that I can do sitting down in a safe place is a Q&A video. I tried doing Q&A videos a couple months ago, and then we ended up moving and everything got crazy, and it kind of just got pushed to the side. So it's a good time to start Q&A videos again. So if you all have any questions for me, please let me know, and maybe you can mark like question for the Q&A video or something like that. Because I have a feeling I'll be doing 1 or 2 more of these over the next 6 weeks. And if you all have any other ideas of videos that I can do sitting down, please let me know, because I'm trying to be creative here and think of things that I can do while I am recovering. So it's 6 weeks, non-weight bearing, and then I'll be back on my feet and be able to be back out in the garden. I am going to have people come and help me out in the garden in a little bit, so I will be out there a little bit, but it might be a lot of sitting down videos. So anyway, I wanted to film a Q&A video. Like I said, I went through this morning and I just grabbed a whole bunch of questions that were in the comment section that I noticed that I tend to get very often in the questions, in the comment section. So I unfortunately, I can't respond to everybody. I wish I could. I was trying to respond to everybody for a while, but it was just taking too much of my time, and I figure you would rather watch a better video than me respond to comments. So I apologize for not being able to answer all the comments, but hopefully this will help answer some common questions that a lot of people have over and over again. Okay, so the first question or comment is from Cheryl Ann. She says, where do you get the Super Tunias and Super Beanas? I'm in El Dorado County near Placerville, which is close to me. It's maybe like an hour away from me. And I can't find them in our Home Depot. Sadly, when Home Depot opened, it put all the privately owned nurseries out of business, which is such a bummer. So I get this is such a common question that I get all the time, not only in my area in Northern California. I know Southern California has an issue with sourcing proven winners. I know some areas of Texas have an issue, because I've gotten that comment before. And I know that some areas of Florida have an issue. And, I'm sure there's other places too. But I definitely hear that in Arizona. I hear that in Arizona as well. And so now that I work with Proven Winners, I am a Proven Winners ambassador, I guess you would call me. I work closely with Proven Winners, and I love it so much. And it's an absolute dream to be able to work with them. I always tell Jason that if I ever don't do physical therapy. I used to be a physical therapist. If I ever don't do YouTube anymore, I would want to work for Proven Winners in some capacity, just because I think that they're such a great company. So now that I work closely with them, I know the answer, or I have something to say about where do you get the Super Tunias and Super Beanas, because I kind of know the backstory of everything that's going on with sourcing Proven Winners annuals. And so basically, Proven Winners is a company that provides these special plants, and how they provide it, specifically annuals, is they provide cuttings, they provide plugs. And what Proven Winners does is they sell trays of plugs to growers, and then the growers take the plugs and they pot them up in the big white can, and they sell them, and then they sell them to garden centers, and then we come and we buy them. And so Proven Winners' job is just to sell the wholesalers or sell the growers these plugs. So ultimately, if you don't have Proven Winners annuals around you, it's not because Proven Winners can't send them to the growers, it's because the growers don't grow them, right? And at least that's the issue where I am, which is kind of Northern California area. the growers in my area do not grow Proven Winners annuals, sadly. I wish they did. I've emailed them, I want to bug them. I would love to talk to them more and try and convince them to grow Proven Winners annuals, because then all the garden centers in my area would be able to stock Proven Winners annuals. The growers, their name is Matsuda's. They actually own Green Acres, which is it's like a chain, it's family owned, but there's 7 garden centers in my area. And so the growers actually own the garden center. And so they provide all the plants for the garden center. So if the growers don't grow Proven Winners, the garden centers are not going to have Proven Winners. So my reason for saying this to all of you is when you ask, like, where can I get this, or why can't I find super petunias around me? I would say contact your growers, figure out who your growers are, right? Figure out who the local growers are and email them or contact them. Or if you even have to, contact your garden center and tell your garden center you want them to tell the growers to grow Proven Winners annuals, because that's the real issue. Proven Winners is ready to send out these trays of plugs, and a lot of the gardens, or a lot of the growers don't take them, right, and grow them. So the more we voice what we want as the consumer, the more access we should be able to have if the growers listen to us. Now, there are some garden centers that grow themselves. Like, for instance, Gardening with Creekside, they are grower/garden center. Windtor Gardens in Reading, which I've been up to many times, they grow as well. So they can grow their own Proven Winners annuals. They get a tray of plugs and then they pot them up. But not every garden center is like that, right? So for instance, Candelario Ace Hardware in Gridley, California is a place, Katie's the owner, and her husband are the owner, and I love them so much, and they're so wonderful. And her grower is Matsuda's in my area, and they don't grow Proven Winners annuals. So Katie is going above and beyond. She's like the coolest chick ever. They're renting a truck so that they can drive to another grower so that they can pick up Proven Winners annuals and bring them back to her garden center so that she can sell them to all of us, right? So she's going above and beyond for this type of thing. And a lot of places can't do that or don't have somebody to know to do that. So my point of saying this is, make sure you know who's providing the plants around you. Make sure you know who the growers are. And if they have like a comments or contact us or anything like that, make sure you say something, because that's the only way that they're going to know that you want Proven Winners annuals. There's, it's great to tell Proven Winners that you want plants here, but Proven Winners is literally sitting here to Matsuda's and saying, hey, do you want our annuals, right? And Matsuda's saying, oh, no, thanks. We don't think there's any need for them, and I'm trying to say, no, wait a minute. There's a need for them. So hopefully I can bridge the gap, at least in my area. But, the more people that say we want this, the more likely the growers are going to grow it and provide it to your garden centers. So I hope that helps. I think it's really important, and I want to have more access to Proven Winners annuals. Okay, next question is another one that I get asked a lot, and this is from KMSH, and here she says, what is the white paint on the tree trunks? Can it be covered with a darker color so it doesn't look so unnatural? And this question, I'm getting it a lot, and it's my fault, because when Lance and Tamara Jackson, the fruit tree specialists who own their own orchard about 2 hours south of me, he explained in detail why, at least in my area, like California, we use white paint on tree trunks for fruit trees. And the video with him was so long, he had so much great information to show, that I had to edit that out. Well, I didn't have to edit it out, but I chose to edit it out so that we didn't have an 1.5 hour long video. So I'm kind of bummed that I chose that part to edit out, because that was a question that a lot of people had. And I didn't think that that was an issue. It's so funny, because to me, that's normal. That is standard practice, right? Of course, like there's a lot of almond trees, like almond tree orchards around me. And like, it's completely normal to see all the tree trunks painted white. So I just didn't really think about it. And it just cracks me up whenever I see people asking, and there's a lot of people asking. So the answer is, in layman's terms, the purpose of the paint. It's a latex-based paint on the tree trunk, and the prime reason for it is for sun protection. Our sun is too hot and too strong, and these fruit trees get sunburn, right? I mean, it's literally like when you put the white sunscreen on your nose, the white is reflecting the sun so you don't get the sunburn. And so that's why it's white, and that's why it's painted on the tree trunks. And then because it's latex, it also does some other, it protects against bacteria and bugs and stuff like that. So it helps prevent disease in the tree. But I'm pretty sure, and Lance, correct me if I'm wrong, I know Tamara's watching this, I'm pretty sure it's for sun protection for the trees. So I don't think you can, I'm sure you can paint it a darker color, but that's going to absorb the heat of the sun, right? Rather than reflect it away. So I think it's kind of important that it's white. And again, it doesn't bother me at all. I literally don't think twice about it. It's always like, I would always laugh because I grew up in Sonoma County, which is, it's like wine country. It's right next to Napa County where all the wineries are. And, there's hills and fields of vineyards. And I grew up with it. It was totally normal. It's just something that I saw. It was always like on the side of the road or the freeway or anything like that. And then I would see people taking pictures, right? Like when I was a kid, I would see people taking pictures, and I would look and what are they taking pictures of, right? And I wouldn't know what was going on. And then I realized they were taking pictures of the vineyards because they weren't used to seeing the vineyards, the rolling hills of the vineyards. And it took me a while to put two and two together and realize that that's not normal for everybody, just like the white painted trunks are not normal for everybody. So anyway, to answer your question, it's for sun protection. It is a very common practice around here. I don't know where else in the country. I'm assuming Texas and Arizona and maybe Florida. I don't know. I'm assuming other places do it. Chime in the comments if your area does it. But it is a very, very common practice around here. Okay, third question / comments / opinion I wanted to address. I didn't pick one out. This was a super common comment or question. I posted a video Monday of this week, and it was Michael Glassman's designs. His design plans for my landscape are ready, and he presented them on paper and on 3D, and they were so very good. I loved them so much. If you go to that video and you look in the description, I have links in there, and you can click on the links and you can actually walk through my garden in 3D to see what he planned. It's the coolest thing. It is really, really neat. So of course I know when I share plans, and Michael knows too, when I share plans, we're going to get comments, we're going to get opinions, and that's fine. I appreciate them when they're phrased nicely. So thank you. One of the things that people felt very strongly about were the screens in the zigzag planter that Michael designed. So in my front garden, I have a zigzag planter that I am keeping, and Michael designed some wire mesh panels to go in the zigzag planter and then have plants growing up them. And a lot of people were really upset about this because they said, it's going to block the view. So as I'm sitting on my patio, I won't be able to look out and look at my gazebo and my center island and all that kind of stuff. And I completely appreciate that, right? I completely appreciate that. But I would like you all to remember that my family and I live here, and we have our needs. And I specifically requested some privacy from Michael Glassman. And so he's wonderful. Everything that Jason and I and the girls asked for and talked to him about, he provided in those plans. So literally everything that you see in those plans, we had discussed with him. So I get that it would be better if I didn't have those screens in the zigzag planter, and I could look out at my garden and look at my gazebo and my beautiful dry creek bed and all that fun stuff. But the alternative is we are inside our home and it's night and the lights are on, and someone from the street can see inside our home as we're in our pajamas or something like that, right? And it's one of the reasons why we moved, unfortunately, is we did need some more privacy than we had in the neighborhood. And so it is a concern, and it is something that I requested from Michael Glassman. So I appreciate all of your suggestions, right? But like please think about my family and my needs, and some of the other things that maybe I don't talk about as much in the videos. And so that's the answer to the screens and why the screens are kind of important. And there's a lot of other things that other people talked about. And again, there's reasons for all of that stuff. So I just wanted to say that. I'm not calling anybody out or anything like that. I just wanted to remind you all that we live here and we have to make it work in our situation. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to address, I do get some questions about, you know, like where this is from or where that is from. 12 Hollymon asked, may I ask where your dining chairs came from? They came from Pottery Barn. I'll link them below. Go Polished said, I do want to know where you got your red top. Can you link it? It's from LL Bean. I'll link it below. I have people ask about my overalls that I wear all the time. Those are from Duluth. I love them. I'll link them below. And then my gardening boots that I'm obsessed with, the brown ones, those are Ariat. I love them. I will link them below. And so that's just a quick answer. Oh, and then the other, my gardening hat, my straw gardening hat, that is from a company called Sun Grubbies. I am a big head girl. I have a big head and a lot of hats are too tight for me, specifically gardening hats. And so Sun Grubbies, you can actually purchase the hat in the size of your head, which I absolutely love. So I've purchased that hat in the size of my head and I love it. I will link that below. Okay, next one. This is from Jay Stolman. I think it's Jody. I think, am I right, Jody? Oh, I don't remember. It looks so beautiful. We'll enjoy following your journey. Janie, are you on Telegram? If not, I think someone is impersonating you. Yes, it's so frustrating. I want to do more giveaways for all of you. I love doing giveaways. Like, I think it'd be great. And I have companies that say, hey, do you want to do a giveaway? Do you want to do this? But I'm afraid to do them because as soon as I say anything like that, my channels get inundated with these scammers that say, hey, contact me on Telegram, and it's my picture, but it's not me. It's a you know, a scam account. And so I just wanted to talk about this, that anytime anyone pretty much across the board says anything about Telegram, Telegram is a scam. I like Telegram is a, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Telegram is a like WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp, the texting app, the free texting app. I'm pretty sure Telegram is like that, but in different countries. I don't know. Anyway, it is not commonly used here in the United States. And so if those of you in the United States, I don't know about other countries, but if you ever see anyone say, hey, contact me on Telegram, and then leave the number, and the numbers look weird, the numbers look like emojis, scam, stay away from it. Do not respond. I apologize. Report it so that YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever can take them down. But it's just a huge issue. So if it wasn't such an issue, I think I would do way more giveaways, but I don't want anyone to get scammed. All right. DD Nadler says, will weeds grow on your brand new compost when left uncovered with no mulch? Also, won't the good biome in that mulch get scorched? Asking because I'm a few miles down the road from you. Hi, neighbor. And am wanting to try that method. Thank you for being the guinea pig for our benefit. So what Dee Dee is talking about is I'm doing the no-till method in my front garden. And I have so much Bermuda grass in that front garden. And I decided not to till for a couple reasons, right? But one of them is I wanted to maintain the biome of my soil that has built up over the years. And if I had tilled up that soil, then you would still have all of that Bermuda grass and weeds, and you would be tilling up more weeds. And I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to try the no-till method. So the no-till method is you just leave it, you just kind of mow everything down to the ground. You put a layer of cardboard on, and then you put 4 to 6 inches of compost on. And that is what I'm doing. And it's working really, really well. These plants are happy. I was worried because my soil looks so compacted and so dry and so terrible, but I plant things and they are doing really better than I thought they would. So I'm optimistic about it. But I do have to put mulch on the compost. I will get breakthrough of weeds through that cardboard as that cardboard breaks down. I absolutely will get breakthrough, especially from the Bermuda grass. I know it. I know it's coming. But other than dousing it with chemicals over and over and over again, I wasn't going to get rid of that Bermuda grass anyway. So it allows me to kind of stay on top of it a little bit, and then you know, kind of get ahead of it, and then knowing that I'm going to have to maintain it. Because honestly, once you have Bermuda grass, you have Bermuda grass. The what are they called? The roots, or they're called rhizomes, I think. They can go like 30 feet down into the ground. So you're not going to get rid of that Bermuda grass, right? Unless you spray a lot of herbicides on it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not anti that kind of stuff. It's just, I had so much Bermuda grass, it would have been a lot of spray. So weeds are going to grow in my compost, and I know it, and I am planning on mulching, but I'm not going to bother mulching probably until later in the winter, because I want to get some more stuff planted as soon as I'm able to get up and garden and have the pathways in, you know, and all this kind of stuff. So mulch is coming. It just is coming later. And I would say, if you're a few miles down the road from me, I would say go for it. Absolutely go for the no-till method. It's really nice. I really like it. Can you compare the quality of the Vigo garden beds to the Amazon beds? Are the Vigo really worth the high cost? Now, I am working with Vigo now. All right. So I just want to say that to you all. They provided me with my beds. I am affiliate. If you want to buy Vigo, please use my code, because then I make a little bit of money off of it, and it's fantastic. I have my Vigo garden beds over this way, the green ones. They're beautiful. They're an olive green color. I love them. And then I bought, or before that, I bought these metal garden beds from online, and the metal garden beds are fine, right? But the metal garden beds were $50 off of Amazon. And think about, to answer your question, think about the purpose that I'm using these metal garden beds for. So my garden beds, my metal garden beds in my backyard, these are, again, a no-till method, and I'm doing a no-till method. And the way that you do garden bed no-till method is you put cardboard down, and then you put the compost, and then you need something to hold the compost in place. And a lot of people suggest just using old boards or old fence panels or something like that, and it's just to hold the compost in place. And then after 6 months, you can remove those, because the compost is now compacted, and your garden bed, your no-till garden bed, is settled in. So the purpose of these Amazon metal beds are not as a raised bed. I am not using them as a raised bed. That's another comment that I got a lot, is why didn't I fill these all the way up to the top? I only filled them about 4 to 6 inches, right, which is the no-till method, and I didn't fill them up to the top on purpose, because they are not raised beds. They are no-till garden beds, and the metal is just my pretty way of holding the compost in place. If you want raised beds, if you want true raised beds, go with the Vigo or something like that, right? They're bending, and they're not holding very straight, and there's only 4 to 6 inches of compost in it, which is great. And if you don't care about the bending, then don't worry about it. But I just want you all to remember how I'm using the metal beds from Amazon versus how I'm using the metal beds from Vigo. And I'm using them in 2 different applications. One is a pure raised bed filled with soil to the top, and the other is just to keep the compost in place while it compacts. And after 6 months, the metal is going to be useless except for looks, right? It's going to be purely aesthetic. So I really, really do like Vigo. I think they're really good beds. There are a lot of companies that have those type of beds, and I say go for it, right? Find whatever company works for you. I liked the color of Vigo, and so that's why I went with that. Okay, last question for today's Q&A. This is from Rashana, excuse me, and she says, "Hi Janie, are you going to do lawn anywhere? I know you like a good lawn." And Rashana, you are right. I love lawn. I love lawn. I love caring about lawn. I love the look of lawn. Yes, I love lawn. I am not going to do lawn out here for a couple reasons. One, we're on well. We have 2 wells here because the first one got a little dry, and so the people who lived here before had to dig a second well. So water is an issue here for us. And I'm concerned about my plants getting water. I mean, I'm even down for that. We're actually investing in a new well pump that's stronger so that we have enough pressure to get water everywhere we need as I'm planting more and more plants. So having a lawn, you know, we all know how water hungry lawns are. I just don't think it will fly out here on well water and the well that we have. We also have another issue. This is really unfortunate, but it's true. Like I was saying, we have a lot of almond trees around me, and there's all this kind of uproar about the almond farms around here, because so what it is you live somewhere and then you have your water table underneath, and then when you have a well, the well goes down to the water table and it basically sucks out the water for your area. So the idea is wherever you live and it's rain and you water, it should be refilling the water table. The problem is that we have a lot of almond farms around us in this area, and they use so much water that their well comes down to the same water table and they're sucking it dry, basically. So a lot of people have had issues with their wells drying up because of these almond tree farms kind of around here. So I know that there's kind of laws getting put in place and stuff like that to regulate it, which I know is an issue as well, because we need food to eat, and you know, and so I'm going to stay out of that, and I'm just going to say I'm not going to plant a lawn, and I am going to do rain harvesting, and I am going to do all the stuff that that I need to do to save as much water as possible for my garden. So I would love to have a lawn out here. I just don't think it's going to happen. All right, everyone, so that is it for my October Q&A, I would say. I hope that I'm feeling better this weekend to be able to film something. If not, then there might not be a video on Monday. We will see. I'll keep you all updated, and I'll keep you updated in the community tab if there's any issues or anything like that. So again, I appreciate all your well wishes and your thoughts and your prayers and all of that for me going through this surgery. And thank you for bearing with me over the next 6 weeks as I recover and deal with it. You all know I'm going to be dying and wanting to get out into the garden. I mean, I'm already dreading it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please keep posting questions so that I can answer them. I would really, really appreciate it. And again, more ideas of videos I can do that are sitting down. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.